Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Storytime with Father Growley. I'm Father Trace Browning from All Saints Church in Salt Lake City, Utah. So before, we've talked about Moses and how when the people of Israel were slaves in Egypt, God sent Moses to set God's people free. And so Moses did. And for many years, in fact, 40 years, they wandered through the wilderness on their way to the Promised Land. Now, the person who was there to assist Moses all along the way was someone named Joshua. And Father Growley is playing the part of Joshua tonight. So, after this long journey in the wilderness, they still hadn't reached the Promised Land. And Moses passed away, and Joshua took over leading the people of Israel. Tonight, what happens is we hear the story of when they finally crossed the Jordan River to go over to the Promised Land. And that is tonight's story. So Joshua was now leading the people of Israel. He led them right across the Promised Land, and dividing them from the Promised Land was the Jordan River. It was the time of year when the Jordan River was in flood. It was very high. It was very deep. The water was moving very quickly. There was no way for them to cross, and they didn't know what to do. Now, all along the way, from the time of Moses to when Joshua was leading them, they had made an Ark of the Covenant. An ark is a kind of box. This was a very special box. It kind of looked like this. It was made of wood, plated with gold, and it had poles for people to carry it. And there were these heavenly winged creatures called cherubim on top, with these wings kind of covering their faces. Something very special was inside this box. There were on stone tablets the 10 Commandments that Moses received from God on the mountain, written by God on these stone tablets. And also, there was manna, the food that God sent for people of Israel to eat every single day. So manna from heaven was kept in there, and the 10 Commandments. And when they would go places, Joshua would tell the priest to carry the Ark of the Covenant, and they would go before the people of Israel. So now they were on the shores of the Jordan River, but they didn't know how to cross. So Joshua prayed to the Lord for help, and the Lord told him what to do. He said, send the priest carrying the ark into the river. Into the river. Their feet are going to get wet, but go ahead and send them into the river, and you will see the power of the Lord. And this is what happened next. So Joshua told the priest, you are to walk into the river. This was a big, fast, deep river. You are to walk in the river, and God will lead the way. So the priest carrying the Ark of the Covenant walked into the river, and what happened next surprised everybody. The river stopped flowing right where the priests were, right where the Ark of the Covenant was. There was a wall of water building up. The water kept backing up higher and higher, deeper and deeper. But where the priest stood and everywhere below that was dry ground. So they stood there the whole time, and they waited as all the people of Israel, all the men and women and the children and their cattle and their sheep, everybody crossed the Jordan River into the Promised Land. And then, when they were done, the Lord told Joshua, here's what I want you to do. While the priests are still in the river and it's still dry, send someone from every tribe of Israel. A tribe was like a family of people, and there were 12 big families, big tribes of Israel. The Lord said, send a person from every tribe of Israel back into the river and have each one pick out a rock. A rock. So all of them went into the river while it was still dry, and they picked out a rock. And the Lord said, have them come back to shore, stack their rocks Some were smooth, some were big, some were gray, some were rough, some were shiny. And they got all these rocks, 12 of them in all, and they stacked them. And God said, this will be a monument. This will stand here for generations. And whenever your children see this pile of stones, and they ask you, what do these stones mean? You will tell them, God worked a miracle in this place. So they went and got the stones. They made the stack of stones. The priest crossed over as well. And God let the river go back to flowing the way it always was. And the people rejoiced because they were now safely in the promised land. And God had worked a miracle for them. So that is the story of Joshua and the people of Israel crossing the Jordan River. And that monument of stone stood there for many generations. What I would like you to do is maybe look around your own house or your yard, or ask your parents, is there something we have that serves as a reminder of something that God has done for us? Maybe it's a rock. Maybe it's a tree that was planted on a special occasion. Maybe it's some picture or something that your family has to remind you God did something good in this place. God worked a little miracle here. So that's what I would like you to do this week, and invite your parents to help out. So we have a song tonight. It's one we've done before. It's called Peace Before Us, in front of us, peace behind us, peace under our feet, peace within us, peace over us, let all around us be peace. And then we'll change the word peace out for light and love, and then we'll come back to the word peace. So peace before us. This is our prayer tonight. It's a very old and beautiful blessing. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord's face shine upon you with grace and mercy. The Lord look upon you with favor and give you peace this night and always. Amen. Good night, everyone. May God bless.